Hi, I'm Jessica with the Santa Paula Art Museum, and welcome to Art Club!
This project is called Snow Forest, and we will be making a scene that shows some hills and some trees growing on those hills, and we will also create a sense of snow falling in the background. And for all of these, we are using different textures. The supplies we'll be using is our blue paper, blue and white paint, and 6x6 cardstock, your bubble wrap, and some glue in the form of a glue stick or glue bottle, paintbrush and water, and paper napkins. Let's get started.
Let's start by setting your paper horizontally, meaning that the longer sides are on the top and bottom, and the shorter sides are on the left and right.
Next, we're going to use white paint and a brush just to create an X across the bottom page. This is where our snowy hills will be. We're going to add snow by dabbing the brush, and this will cause texture to formulate on the paper. And we want to have at least some of that blue construction paper showing from underneath. Snow sometimes can be soft, but it also looks texturized. This is a great example of our vocabulary word, texture. In the real world, texture is what something feels like to your fingertips. For example, does it feel rough or soft or prickly or sticky, or it could feel a lot like different things. When you're doing a painting or a collage like this one,
You're making it look like texture.
it might not actually be rough or soft or prickly or sticky, but we find ways to make it look like it. So when we use a brush a certain way or make patterns or use a lot of lines, we create some texture in our artwork. Let's add texture with another technique. Now I'm kind of scrubbing the page, and I'm covering up some spots to be darker than others. So the layer of snow is a little bit heavier on some sides. You can do this across both hills. Great! Our next step is to add snow in our sky, and we'll be using bubble wrap and more white paint. Along, we'll be using the blue paint as well. So grab your bubble wrap, and you can see that the bubbles on top will create a beautiful texture for our project. Again, dipping your brush into the white paint, you're going to brush on white paint onto only the bubble part of the bubble wrap. Try not to get it into the crevices because we need the space in between. Only on the top surface. Next, what you'll do is align the bubble wrap to the top left corner, and you're going to press it so that it's evenly spread. After a few seconds, you can peel it upwards. Now let's reload the paint onto the bubble wrap, and again press evenly and add it to the middle of our page. One more time, spread evenly and add enough pressure to every side and slowly peel.
You're going to continue these steps until you finish covering the entire sky with the bubble wrap texture.
Great! Our snowy sky needs a bit of color, so let's add some blue mixed with white to get a lighter blue. And we're going to add another layer on top of the snow, but just on the top. Next, we'll reload our bubble wrap. Again, just adding onto the top layer, and you don't have to wash or clean the bubble wrap because the baby blue will cover up the white. Then you'll make your way from the left to the right of the top part of the page.
Again, this will be like the previous step where you just laid down the bubble wrap on top of the white. Adding this baby blue layer from the left to the right and pressing down all over the bubble wrap so that you get an even spread. We're going to set this aside and let it dry out. In the meantime, we're going to grab both cardstocks to make some trees for our snowy trees. So you should have two different kinds of cardstock. They can be patterned or regular green. It's no problem. You're going to start by cutting them in half diagonally from one corner to the other corner using your scissors. Followed by cutting off one tip of your triangle and then cut the other tip of the triangle. This way you have some trees, and you're not going to use all of the trees. You can pick whichever trees were best fitted. Awesome, and so this part is very up to you. You get to choose where you'd like to arrange your trees for this next step. Planning across from where we had our X, you have both hills going sloping down towards the left or the right. So you could even add a tree on the top. You can add a tree to the middle right or a tree to the middle left. It'd be perfect if we can pick out a tree that'll go to the bottom left corner, because our eye is going to be directed there when we add a couple more details. My favorite part when arranging a composition, such as these trees, is to stack them up, because the textures play very well with each other. They're fun to look at. So I'm going to add a small tree followed by a bigger tree with two different patterns. After you've lined up your composition, we're going to go in with either glue sticks or glue to glue these down. Let's add some fun by adding an element of tracks. When people walk in snow, you can see one foot walking in front of the others. And using my finger as a guide, I'll space out the steps in between for the tracks. Using the water and the paper napkins, make sure that your brush is super clean so that we can just use pure white paint. We'll be done using any kind of blues for this part. We're going to start covering our trees. Awesome! Our trees need some decorative snow. So right about now, we're gonna go in with our cleaned paintbrush and dab on some snow on the tips. Since snow likes to settle on the top of the pines or also underneath and around when it's freshly fallen, so we want to give it a snowy look. Great, and after all those details are done, we finished our project. I hope you enjoyed this project and can't wait to see you in the next video.